I don't know how they did it, but they somehow won on Monday night. Sports Talk Chicago. Here with Jon Zaghloul. Appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us here after the game. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button on this video. Hit us up all over at Sports Talk Chicago on social. And hit up our great affiliates at the top of your screen. WKAN 105.5 The Ticket, ACTV, Jet TV, WJOB, and Cities 92.9 Talk FM. Now, the entire narrative is going to be, I'm warning you today, Justin Fields led a game-winning drive. Justin Fields won the game. And to his credit, he did. I actually appreciated his ability to overcome his own mistakes, his own issues, to lead a game-winning drive. He didn't score a touchdown, but he made a big pass, a critical pass to DJ Moore. And the Bears got in field goal range to win. They're the only team in the NFL this season to not score a TD and win. Okay, so what's that mean? I was not impressed with Justin Fields' performance. He took a lot of time in the pocket, missed a lot of open guys downfield. Luke Getsy had horrendous play calling. I mean, Luke Getsy almost single-handedly lost the Bears this game. Screen after screen after screen after draw. Stupidity at its finest. But I will say this, and, no one's going to like it, but it's the truth. Justin Fields fumbled twice in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he did. And although the Bears ended up winning and Justin Fields rectified his mistakes late, the fact is we should not be forgetting about that. Again, the narrative is going to be Fields led a game-winning drive, everything's good in Chicago. No, it's not. That game sucked on all levels. How pathetic is it that the Bears are the only team in football to win a game all season and not score a touchdown? Does that mean they're really good? No, it doesn't. It means that they suck. It means that Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy calling plays is horrendous. And it does mean and signify that Justin Fields had 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter. In the fourth! Dan Wiederer put out this stat, and it's going to be revised now, but I'm going to read this to you. Since the start of 2022, Justin Fields is 1 of 17 on attempts to lead a game-tying or go-ahead drive that starts in the final 8 minutes. Now he's 2 of 18, because third time's the charm in this one. I want to make it clear, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with this game. I'm happy they won. I'm impressed with the defense. They did what Josh Dobbs should be doing. They proved that Josh Dobbs is a fake. But the offense was horrible. Offense was horrible. All around. Fields, 2 fumbles. Getsy, horrible play calling. All game long. From play 1 to the last play of the game, horrendous play calling. And when you have your kicker being the MVP of the game, because that's who really was the MVP, I don't care what anybody else says, Carlos Santos is the reason why the Bears won this game. That's an issue. When your quarterback is supposed to be the franchise guy who you're trying to evaluate, and the kicker's the reason why you won, we get a big problem. And when Justin Fields implodes like he did and has 2 fumbles, we got an issue too. I know people aren't going to want to hear it, but it's true. You cannot sit here and convince me at all or play mental gymnastics and tell me, wow, Justin Fields looked great and the Bears won, so that's all that matters. No, those 2 fumbles were horrible. The defense played amazing. Josh Dobbs had 4 picks, and the Bears did what they had to do defensively to force him to make plays. And I found it funny. I don't know why Josh Dobbs eluded the entirety of the NFL, it seemed like. I don't know why he was somehow effective this year, but the Bears finally showed, oh yeah, this is who Josh Dobbs really is. Why is he even starting? I was so happy to see that because it needed to be said, and it was said by actions and by plays. I was so happy. Great job by the Bears defense tonight. That's who won the game, by the way, too. Santos and defense, because the fact is the Bears forced 4 picks and scored nothing off those 4 picks, by the way. But those 4 picks at least forced the ball out of Minnesota's hands, and by virtue of time of possession, by default, the Bears won. By default, they won. And you know what? If that's how they won, good for the team at large. It's a nice win for Matt Eberflus, who now has won his first ever divisional game late in his second year as the Bears head coach. But at the end of the day, this was a train wreck of a game. a train wreck of a game. So I was not impressed. I was not happy. I don't think this should be considered a success. I think what it was is a great defensive effort, great kicking, for the Bears, good kicking effort, right? At the end of the day, we did not see more from Justin Fields, and isn't that the point of the rest of this season? And I'm being honest here, right? We're talking about the rest of the year. Matt Eberflus, he has 7 games to prove himself. Isn't the point of the rest of the season to see whether or not he's the guy? Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't see that again today. This is going to be in an L column for Justin, an L. So ever since Eberflus made that public outcry, that public statement, he has been given a no grade from last week because he fumbled late. And now this week, 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter pretty much almost single-handedly cost the Bears the game. Right? That's not something I'm going to be touting or celebrating or saying, yep, you know what, I know he's the guy now because they won by a field goal. They didn't score any touchdowns, and Justin Fields fumbled twice. That's not a game in which I could say, all right, I know he's the guy. Let's move on. We can't yet. And these next games coming up, we're going to see more and more of who Justin Fields really is and who this Bears team really is with him. And I want to make it very clear here too. Okay, Luke Getsy was horrible in terms of play calling. I'm not saying this is all on Justin Fields, but how could you overlook these 2 fumbles in the fourth? That's my question. I ask everybody to give me a fair explanation, and I mean this fairly. I don't mean this slanted. Can you explain to me why it was okay or why it's okay to brush off 2 fumbles inside 8 minutes when the Bears were trailing in the fourth? Nobody could give me that answer. You could say, oh, well, they ended up winning anyway, but that's not the point. The fact is he needed 3 tries to do it, and they kicked a field goal and never scored a touchdown the whole game. So it was okay. The defense deserves a heck of a lot of praise. Jairo Santos deserves a ton of praise, and both of them are the reasons why they won. The Bears won by default. And they won by default because the defense committed or made 4 takeaways and simply kept the ball out of Josh Dobbs' hands. That's it. And that's awesome. And that's good. And I'm happy to see them win. It's great. But I'm not going to sit here and drink the Kool-Aid and proclaim that all is well in Matt Eberflus' world, or all is well in Luke Getsy's world, or all is well in Justin Fields' world. Because again and again and again, we see week by week, even with a win like this, you would think, okay, it's a win, let's celebrate. Well, not really, because they really shouldn't have won this game based on the way they played and based on the 2 turnovers critically in the fourth quarter. So, and there's no blame for anybody. There no more qualifiers, right? No more qualifiers. I'm not going to hear anything about his thumb. He's 100% covered. He's playing in the game, okay? If he's really hurt, he shouldn't play. So, anyways, the Bears won, and that's nice. Am I impressed? No. You shouldn't be either. I'm impressed by the defensive effort over a quarterback who is a journeyman at best and who is an unbelievable bust and shouldn't even be starting on an NFL team. That I'm happy about. Happy about Jairo Santos making kicks when it mattered, being clutch. But I'm not impressed with Justin Fields' performance. And don't pretend like you are or you were or you knew this was coming. Nobody did. Don't pretend that this was a huge game for Justin. They won because of him. It's so exciting. It's not. He had 2 fumbles in the fourth. I could go back and look at the chat and see what people were saying. I could go back on Twitter and see what people were saying. We all felt the same way. We all thought the same thing. Again, nice kid, physically gifted, good guy, I'm sure. But is he cut out to be the franchise guy of this team? No. No, he's not. Because a franchise quarterback's not going to fumble twice in 2 consecutive possessions in the fourth quarter like he did. And we have to really put that into context and into perspective. And I give Justin Fields an L on this game. I don't think this is good for his evaluation. I don't think this is going to help anything for him. We're going to remember this. The Bears will too, and we'll see how it keeps going. I wish him the best. I wish them the best. We'll see how it ends up coming up and how it ends up playing out. But you can't convince me that everything's okay. And you can't just wipe off the pebbles and say they didn't happen, the Bears won, so who cares? It's not how it works. I could even argue Josh Dobbs was the Bears MVP, let alone their defense and kicker. I'm not going to go there because the Bears did have to make plays to force the turnovers. But Josh Dobbs was the MVP for dumb throws and, stupidity on his part. I'm not impressed. That's the point. But the Bears did win. They're 4-8 now on the season. The Bears don't play again until December 10th. It's going to be a bye week for them moving forward. So we're going to be sure to have coverage for you then on that game. We're going to be here anyways. Don't need to worry about that. We're going to be here this week for our patented Wednesday night live show. We're going to be live next week, too, to discuss everything about the Bears and about Chicago sports. End of the day, the Bears enter the bye and they win. They're 4-8. Not because of Justin Fields, though. I think that's the real big thing that we need to take away from it. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. What a great time that we had. Look at how many people tuned in, stayed in the chat, and hung with us. Big thank you to John Meadows on a Monday night, hanging out with us, too, making sure everything works behind the scenes. Remember, before you leave, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you heard. You can follow me all over at Sports Talk Chicago. If you didn't enjoy what you heard, still subscribe anyway, because we got great Bears coverage here. We're not fanboys. We'll be in touch, and we're going to see you Wednesday night for a live show. So we're going to discuss this more on Wednesday. Don't worry about that. But until next time, thank you all so much. We're grateful. We appreciate it. And we'll see you very soon. So long.